Hi everyone, it's Valerie, and this is number 2 of the coloring part of my videos. So I thought I'd show you what I'm up to. I did go down and chart out all of my colored pencils that I have of the Prismacolors, and that's what I'm going to be using to coloring in, because that's what I have. So I went ahead, and I think the last time I got this page done, I think I got most of this page done. So I went ahead and finished the colors. So these are all the reds, and then these are just some blends that I did, just experimenting. And then these are my yellows and oranges. These are the browns. The purple I left because, I think I mentioned this last time, because at first glance with my eyes, they look like, the purple looks like it's brown. But I set up a better light this time, so hopefully I'll see better. And then these are your metallics. These are the blues. And there's the porcelain blue, looks almost purple under this light. So the purple is showing up very nicely. These are your purples and violets, your grayscale up to your black. And so those, I think there's about 52 or 53 in here. And I think most of them, I figured out what the colors are, except for 324. Let's see, I found this little stubby Rouge Carmine. So Carmine red, I'm guessing. Well, I guess I really like that red because I have no more 324. Oh, get going. Enough of this. So now if I'm reaching, I want a certain color, I can just go ahead and look on my chart. Good idea to chart out your colors, because when you just look at it like this, you can't always tell what it's going to look like when you get it down. 322, yeah, that's what that is. Okay, so there's my color chart, and I thought I'd show you a couple of things that I did fairly recently. This is the eye that you can upload off the internet, or you can learn to do off the internet. So that's I just did that for some brushing up when I was getting back into art, just to get the feel of doing some sketches again. So that's my eye. That's an older sketchbook of mine. And then this is something else that I was doing. The dragon. I'll zoom out so you can have a little bit of a better look at him all in one piece. There's my dragon. He's not quite finished. What I was doing with him is, now my daughter, she's a very aspiring artist. She's a very good artist already. So every once in a while I'll draw something for her, paint something as part of a tutorial, partly to inspire her, partly to teach her. And so I decided to do a dragon. So I'll look at a lot of reference pictures on the internet of dragons, and then I shut them off, and then I kind of design my own, get some ideas of what I want. And thank you to Dee Dee Wellingham for suggesting to go to macro when you're looking at images. If you type in macro and then whatever it is that you want to look up, in this case I typed in scales, so you can get really close-up photos of scales, and I found it very inspiring. I'm not quite finished. There's a lot of highlights and detail that I would still like to do on here. And then for this part, I wanted this to look like an abalone shell or a shell. I've been going through all my buttons, and I have a lot of antique shell buttons, and it inspired me to do something shell-like on this dragon. So I did this fin here, which I'm not finished yet, so I thought I'd work on him a little bit today. So I did type in abalone, macro abalone, got some nice reference pictures. So I looked at a lot of those, and then I shut it off, and then I went and just designed the fin with some abalone designs on it, but I'm not quite finished. I'll give you a close-up of that. Hopefully with this light you can see it quite well. So I'll work on that for a bit. It's a lot lighter in my, what I see on this, like what I'm looking at is a lot lighter compared to what I'm looking at on the screen. So when I have this far away, the eye doesn't quite show up. It kind of is getting lost in all of the detail here. So I want to fix that up to make the eye pop out better. And the jaw is supposed to look kind of like bone where he's had his flesh ripped off, and you can see the bone structures and the sinews through the little gaps in his bones, and some sinews that might be underneath for the jaw or for the inside of the tongue or something. Yeah, so that's my dragon. So I thought maybe later I'd work on him a little bit. And then these were some ideas I was fooling around with. Now, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now, I set up my coloring books to go ahead and do a filming. Turned my camera on and it just died. So I went ahead and colored anyways. So I colored just about everything except for this stone. I wanted to do the hair with you guys watching. And I was also trying to figure out a method of doing the stone that would make it pop. So I was thinking like the abalone, so I was fooling around with some, trying to make it look iridescent, like a shell would look iridescent. And this is sort of what I was fooling around with, some of the neon colors and some different colors, trying to get the feel of what I could do this stone. And so far I like this one the best. Let me do a close-up of that one. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's that one. And what else? And then I want to show you how I did these stars as well. So the rocks, basically, I just continued on sort of the same style as I had done these rocks. So I just continued on, did that. I add a wee bit more coloring to the waters, and I did more to the dragon. I decided that the picture needed a bit more green to it, so I did make the wings a little bit more green. I darkened him, did a bit more shading on him, and then tried to make his little spikes red, so that you don't just have one blob of red, you know, in the picture, but you have bits of red here and there, and it kind of pulls everything together. So that was kind of the idea of that. And then he's got the bright orange chest still. So it's going to do that. And then here was the butterfly that I also did that day that I did the coloring. So that's my butterfly. I don't think I did anything in here. Let me just see. I think you saw that one. Okay. So the ones that I was working on that had the fields is now gone. I don't know where it is. It's one that I had taken out of this book. And I know there's some in here that I still wanted to do. The buttons one. I thought it would be fun to mix colors with that and make some tags out of. I do like this house one as well. And then in the process of looking for the fields and houses, I found this one. This is an older one that I had done. Not too crazy about it. Needs a lot of fixing up. Okay, so let's go on to this. Now I left a couple of stars because I really liked the way that these stars turned out. I initially did it with some yellow, just a nice lemon yellow, with a very sharp tip because they're very, very tiny, tiny. I mean, look at the size of my finger in comparison. Some of these are very tiny. And then after I did the blue, which is just indigo blue, and I burnished, I did it quite heavily, and I burnished with the blue itself. After I was done that, I went back and I did the yellow, and I found that it was, you know, if you just get the slightest bit of blue you pick up, it just kind of ruined it. So what I wound up doing was, I'll just take this one because it's already sharpened. This is just a neon yellow. But what I wound up doing, and this is such a cool technique, I'm going to zoom in here. And this is a lot of times how you find techniques, is by accident. I was, you know, just sort of starting in the middle and working my way out and trying not to get any blue, and then in order not to pick up the blue, I was going like that. And then wiping off my tip and going like that again. But I noticed that it was making a really cool effect. I was bringing it outwards, so I just kept fooling around like that and wound up making a really cool looking star, even with a little bit of blue that it would pick up. I just kind of left some of it on there, some of it I wiped off. I thought it was picking up too much. I don't think this yellow's turning out very good. Let's try a different one. Again, you need quite a sharp tip for this. Yeah, this one's working a little better. This is a darker yellow than the one I was using. Let's just see if I can figure out which one I was using. Maybe I was using the neon yellow. I think I was, because I can see the tip's been worn down on that one. So is the lemon yellow. Let's try the lemon yellow for this one and see how it looks. Let's color a little bit, bring it out. Color a little bit, bring it out. That's not too bad. It still looks a lot more yellow than the ones I used here. Perhaps I put white over it. I should have written it down. Darn, see? There you go. Put a little bit of white over this. Make sure your lines are straight. If not, no worries. You can indigo over that. You can do the blue indigo over that. I'm not worrying if I miss the line every once in a while. I can cover that up. Yes, that looks better. There we go. So what are you guys all working on? I have in the background right now, I'm watching A Colorful Life. She's working on her Snow White book. There, that's nice. See how that kind of makes those really cool rays. I like that. So now we'll take the indigo and just touch this up a bit. I've added some of my old pencils and some other pencils to this book, and then I have this package with erasers and different things. So if I need to grab something, don't need watercolor in there, take that out. My my smudge cloth, erasers, and then I keep a Ziploc bag in here so that if I want to go out somewhere and sharpen, I can throw a sharpener in there. I just thought I'd show you that. This was sitting on top of my pencil, colored pencils, that's why. To get that out of the way. Okay, we're looking for an indigo blue. Blue. And we're just going to cover up some of these lines that I got carried away with here. This one's a little crooked. Let me take that right out. There we go. I'm doing a fabric. I'm making a fabric book right now. And I was working on my dragon. So that was keeping me busy. Okay, I think those are done. Now, should I do the stone or should I do the hair first? Let's do the stone. Just for fun, let's do the stone. Let me just go over the colors that I used for the stone. I used the 438, which is your neon pink. Just double check on this. Yes. 436, which is neon orange. And then I used 404, which is yellow chartreuse. And then the 320, which is light green. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to sharpen these up a little bit. Sharpen them up because the stone is really, really small. So I'm going to have to use like little teeny lines to try and get some kind of a neon look to it. So in the center, I'm going to do... I wonder if I should change this to put yellow in the middle. Let me just do an experiment on this piece of paper. Let's do the yellow in the middle. It's almost a little bit of a green, this one. And then the orange, or I think, yeah, orange. I'll blend in a little bit over the yellow. Pink. And the blue. Neon green, sorry. Yeah, I think I like that better. What do you think? There is no neon blue, but I do like the permanent blue 303 that I might outline it with. Yes, I think I might do that. Give a nice little outline. Aha, like that. Okay. It's decided. Put that there. My prints. Okay, you're all zoomed in now. Okay, so the first color is the neon yellow, or the, what did I say that was? Yellow chartreuse. I'll do a little teeny dot in the middle. And then I'm going to do the orange. Do a little ring around the orange. And then I'll just do it very weakly coming out. And then the pink around that. And then the neon green, which you can barely make out. And then I'm going to do this permanent blue in the shadow here on the edge. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go a little bit more pink around the center. some more orange around that. And the green. And burnish with this color a little bit. Well, it's different. It's pretty small to be doing this kind of a technique with, but it'll work. Okay, let's work on her hair. And for her hair, as you know if you're an artist, you do not put yellow in hair. So just give me a minute to pick my colors. So I'm using cream 314, the dark brown 345, and sienna. And if you're just coming in, I'm working with Prismacolors. So the sienna might think it's an odd color to put with blonde hair, but it all depends what you're doing. You know, you could have a kind of an auburn blonde, you could have a dirty blonde, you could have an ashen blonde. There's all different colors of blonde. So you can play around with your colors and just see what they do and which one do you like the best. So I'm going to be using my dark brown for the darkest areas and then the cream for the light. So right now I'm just going to do a light shading of the cream. And you notice how I haven't colored the blue right up to the hair because I don't want to accidentally be taking some of that blue into the hair. So I'll edge the blue the very, very last minute when I'm done the picture. So for right now, I'm just going to put some light cream in most of these highlighted areas. And I'm just coloring very lightly right now, very, very light pressure. Don't want to get any cream into the blue area if I can help it. It's a lot easier to go dark over the light when you make a mistake than it is to go light over the blue or light over the dark. A little bit of red there. Let's see if I can erase that. I'm going to try this eraser. See if I get rid of that little bit of... Like I said, I do have a hand jerk, so yeah, I mean, it happens, right? Not everybody colors perfectly all the time, 100% of the time. If you do, you're a very rare person. So that pretty well lightened that up pretty good. Just a nice light color over the light areas. So our colorful life, I'm watching her in the background. She's doing her flesh tones right now. And everyone, it seems, do their flesh tones a little bit different than everyone else. So it's good to watch and pick up tips and ideas from different people, isn't it? Some do the darker shaded areas first, some do the lighter. Everyone is different. And if you find that when you first start to color, you're really jerking your hands all over the place, do some warm-up exercises on a sheet, you know, do different shapes and just, you know, even do some finger exercises, just get all the muscles all warmed up and ready to draw little designs. And oops, try not to shake the table. And that really does help a lot. I'm not worried about getting cream on her skin because I'm probably going to do it all over again with her skin with the same color cream. but it will all work, trust me. There's another spot where I got some orange. I'll net it. I'll erase this red that I got here. Okay, did I get everything? I think I might have now. Let's start putting some shading in, and I'm going to shade in the darkest area first. Now, because this is such a teeny, oh, I see a spot I missed in cream. Because this is such a teeny tiny drawing, like teeny, we're talking minuscule details here, which I love, right? I love detail, as you can see by the dragon. I love my detail. That's where I tend to excel, is in the detail. So I love doing tiny, tiny detail. So because it's hair, and because it's so detailed, I'm probably only going to do lines. So I'll do like in the shadow, let's see, I gotta think where the light's coming from here. So there's gonna be some shadows. I'm probably only gonna be able to do like lines for detail, and I'm doing the darkest area first. So there'll be some dark under here, dark there, definitely some dark in here. Just bringing out the dark like that. Some dark here. Now I'm not going to put too much dark here because it'll be against the blue. It really won't show that much. So let me see. Some underneath here, going that way. Some going this way. This isn't showing up as dark as I thought it would. It's dark brown, but it's not a really heavy pigmented dark brown. I think that's the reason why. Dark in there. So another color is definitely going to come in handy. And that's just going to suggest some depth in the hair there. And I've got some dark here, so let's make a line here and then we'll bring the hairs out. I was expecting this dark to be a lot darker. I'm a little bit disappointed, but that's okay. It's just blonde hair. So as I said, I got the idea for doing the neon stone when I was sorting out my buttons. And I was looking at some of the beautiful colors in the shell buttons, and how they were iridescent and just gorgeous. And I did do a painting. Actually, it might be handy. I'll show you. No, I did this painting years and years ago, and it's traveled around to a lot of different people. I gave it away to my mother-in-law, and she wound up giving it back. I don't know why she gave it back, but she did. So there's my shell, and this was done with acrylic paints. And you can see the shininess of the paints, but hopefully you can pick up the detail in the colors. It does look a lot better in real life. Let's see if we can get this to show up. It looks very real when you have it in front of you. Zoom back in again. So it's nice if you have something in front of you to look at for reference when you do something like that. That was a conch that my mother-in-law had, and I did the painting of that conch, and she just loved it, so I gave it to her. And then I think she was just like moving and had too many things and wound up giving it back. I'm not sure. Probably that's what happened. It's been so long ago now. I like it.
It's not entirely accurate. I based it off of canines. I need to fix the snout a bit.
You mind if the YouTube people see it?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so there you go. There's my daughter's drawing.
It's still got some messed up parts like the spine and...
You don't have both legs on, then you just got the one leg?
No. I was gonna do the other side and muscles. Or something.
Really nice. Okay.
And then do the fur and eyes on a transparent, slightly more transparent level so you can see through it.
I like it. Good job.
Thanks. I'm gonna go keep working on it.
You do that. Okay, where did I put my pencil crayon now? Put some lines in this area here. And you can put lines in even where there isn't lines. Don't be afraid to do that as well. A lot of times people put sometimes, not always, but sometimes people put less lines than what the painting really requires. Less colors, I should say. Don't be skimpy on your colors. Don't be afraid to, put a few suggestive colors in there, like I might put a few of these here and there, and then I might go hint in with a different shade of brown. Because you think about all the things that are going on in the picture and how colors are bouncing off of each other. And then sometimes there's just an effect that you want to give in your picture. So you need to think of the effect that you want, the mood that you want as well. A little bit of orange on there. My noisy heating, can you hear that? Hot water heating. The boiler systems they have nowadays are very efficient, but they can be noisy. Okay. Let me see. Here. I am dying for some nice weather. We've had rain and more rain and more rain. I cannot wait for the nice weather to come. Okay, did I get everything? I'll probably find spots I missed as I go along. Oh, there's some hair down here. Okay, so let's put a little bit of this burnt sienna in here. Just for a little bit of additional color. Like I said, you want your, I'll bring it up a little bit higher, a little bit out, a little bit more from where we did the brown. So here, for example, put a few streaks of the green, or the green, burnt sienna. I'm thinking raw umber, right? Raw umber does tend to have a little bit of hint of green in it. The raw umber on the brain. But this is sienna. That looking like blonde hair now? Shadows here. I'm going to sharpen this a little bit more than what it is. There we go. Bring some of that out. Now that's starting to have the effect I want. Okay, let's put some lines in here. Not too much. I don't want to overdo it. She does have blonde hair. Yes, it's looking good. Yeah, so we were talking about what weather. Awful weather. Well, not awful. Warm enough. I mean, it's better than slipping and sliding in snow when you're driving. To worry about other drivers. And, my car is equipped for snow because I'm from the north, so I made sure I put good snow tires on. Not snow tires, but all year snow tires, not all weather snow tires. Because all weather and all year are two different things, they tell me. So it's a little bit more for the all year, and sometimes you have to be on a waiting list to get them, but do get them if you can, not the all weather, all year. All weather's okay for here if you don't have to drive in the snow, but if you have to and you're a single mom like me and you got the responsibility of a child, you might want to spend that extra money on some all weather or all year snow tires if you can. There's a chance that you're going to be driving in deep slushy snow. Okay, how's that? What did I miss? Gee, it's so hard to tell sometimes. These are this small. Sometimes all you need is like one little line. Okay, don't overdo it. So, is that it? See anything I miss? Okay, now I'm just going to go a little bit heavier on the lighter areas. Kind of blend that in a little bit. Do a little line over this black line. Some sienna. There we go. I mean, this hair isn't going to take long because there's not much to it. It's very small drawing. Hmm. It feels good to be able to get back into art again. I think every time you move, it takes so long to get set up and organized. So when I moved all my crafting into my bedroom, I had a little bit of a space here in the living room. So I bought this table, this kind of art table. I think they called it Artist Loft Arts and Craft Creative Center. It has 2 drawers in it and it's got the pull-out on the side. So that was nice. I can set this up. My daughter and I can do our drawing and art now on here. And then I can keep the crafting going in my craft room. So now I can do some art videos as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I'll just leave that hair as it is now. Let's, I'll probably notice strands that I missed here and there and fix it along the way. Let's just do her skin. And I think, now I tried a blue undertone a while ago with someone and I didn't like it. So I think with her, I'm going to do this sienna. Well, this could be a mistake. I don't need, you know what? I'm going to do the raw umber. 341. Okay, so she has a very small face, so this is going to be very, very small. And just a little bit of shading under her hair here. A bit in her cheek. Neck. A little bit under here. That's where most of the shadow is going to be. So there'll be some shadow on this side of her face. chin, on the end of her nose. Gotta do this part whether I want to or not. In between the hair. The hair is going to cast some shadow. Necklaces will also cast a shadow. Necklaces. And a little bit of her dress. They also cast a shadow. At least on some parts of it. Okay. A little under her lip here. Let me see. Eye. That should be it for the shadow. Now I'm going to do the cream. Oh dear, cream. Over most of her face. And I'm going to first of all tackle the spaces, get some cream onto those. And now I'm going to burnish over the sienna, bring it out. So I've got medium pressure, kind of blending. I'm not going to right to the very edge, I'm going almost to it. Same here. I can see where I need a little bit of shadow right here under this hair. It's going to be pretty dark under her neck, I would think. Oh, let's blend this part that we missed. Blending. No, I'm not doing the rosy cheeks yet. Let's blend this. Okay. Almost forgot her nose. Okay, let's find a nice color for her cheeks. I'm going to do this, let me see. Pink. I'm just going to put a little bit on just above that shading. Oh, that might almost be too much. Just a little bit. And we're going to blend that. And then for her lips, we'll do magenta under the top one. And we'll do a slightly lighter color. How about the, let's see, let me just check my chart here. There's magenta. Let's do 322. Let's do the scarlet red for the bottom. It's just a little bit lighter. There we go. Now she has lipstick to match her dress. What are we going to do for her necklace? Really should be blue, shouldn't it? I like that blue that I used on the outside of this. Let's get that one. Actually, let's do this aquamarine. And I'm just going to do the whole necklace. That color, ooh, it's a little dark. It's what I would call highly pigmented. It's going to really pop on her neck, that's for sure. We'll do the outline of it in this. And then we'll do the center. Some other loops and things going on here. Another stone here, I think. Stone there. We'll do the center of this yellow chartreuse. It's hardly noticeable, but it does create an optical illusion. You know, we forgot her hands. Let's get those colors again. Okay, sharpen this. First, let's sharpen it. That always helps. Oh, now a colorful life. She's working on a different drawing. She's doing another face. Ooh, that's a very, very sharp point. Very, very sharp point. Ooh, I like it, I like it. Just don't press too hard. I have to keep telling myself, don't press hard because it will break. Okay, what's going on up here? Okay, I'm doing this little shadow here. Blend that out a little bit. Make this bread nice and bold. Fix this up a little bit while I got this here. Now I can see this is kind of almost an orangey inside here, so I'm not going to take the red inside there. Whoa, there she goes. Bar she blows. Okay, let us do a little bit of an orange red, which would be what? Scarlet red. 322 would be my scarlet red. 322, where are you? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You got no place to go now. Sorry, I had to do it. I do not remember what year that came out, though. But I believe I was still a kid. Well, that looks good. Oops, that's a piece of fluff. That looks pretty good. I like that. I think that goes nice with her dress. Now I noticed some of the rocks back here I need to do because I missed them somehow. So let's do those now. I need a couple of shades of orange, so I'm going to use, let's see, the deep orange, 382. Because I'm going to need to have some contrast with her hair. I'm going to do at least some here. There. Anywhere else I need to fill in? Rocks anywhere? That might be here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Laying that in. Yep. I like that. Well, I've got my, so here's my indigo with a very sharp point, and I'm just going to outline these first of all. I think I might need a sharper point than this. Let's see. Let's just see what we can do. Get rid of this. Don't need those anymore. Yeah, I think I need just a slighter, sharper point here. She's putting down a very, very bright yellow on her face. Yes.
I did the skeleton of the creature I'm working on, which is like this two-tailed. Not finished yet. I still need to do like the horns and the scutes on the back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it after that, because I want to make it into something like a character or what. I don't really just want to be in. I don't want it to just be an anatomical reference. I just don't know.
Okay, so that's my daughter, aspiring artist. She's a very good artist. She's actually done a few pictures that I think is good enough to sell on my Etsy store. So when I get enough of them, I'll load them onto my Etsy store. The favorite thing she likes to draw is characters. She invents her own characters. Her goal so far is to be a concept artist. I literally have boxes and boxes of her drawings. And now that she has a tablet, she had computer also. And she's got lots of, flash drives full of drawings and computer full of drawings, but she uses the drawing program that's in her tablet, and she does an awful lot with it. She does have a YouTube channel, but she doesn't have a lot on it. And she calls it Puke Yellow. Okay, a little bit up here. Her YouTube channel, she just did some, what do they call that? Quick draw? I don't even know what you call it. There's a whole new terminology, that the young people use for what they do on the internet. And a lot of it is beyond me, because that's not where I spend my time. Okay, how's that? Did I miss anything? Oh yes, right here. Oops. Oops. You didn't see that, did you? Stop checking everywhere. that looks pretty good. I think we are done. I mean, I might, as time goes on, I might, you know, spend a little time here and there just putting in dark places, highlighting and doing whatever. There's always things that you can add here and there. When you think a painting is finished, well, yeah, and then sometimes you can overdo it too. You gotta know when to say when too, otherwise you just keep going and going and going. Okay, let's stop this coloring and let's go finish up. Zoom out here a little bit. Oh, I didn't show you this one either. Just when I was practicing all of these, I tried out, where is it? Started that one. This one. Let's see if I could get the iridescence going on her. Mermaid. Well, I still have some work to do to get that to look really iridescent. And I thought we could work a little bit on the dragon. I'm really trying to get this to look like it's mother of pearl, or abalone, I should say, more like abalone, not so much a mother of pearl, more like an abalone. And then I have these scales here that I have to fix. So to get the shading, the first layer of shading on here, I just work with a very, very light pencil. And then I blend it. So I'll use my 4H. And then I'll blend it with a blender. And then I do a little bit darker shading. Blend that. And then I'll go about with a darker pencil. Maybe, let me see. Let's try B. I'm just going to sharpen this. Okay, so we're going to make a little bit of shading here underneath these scales. Make them so that they're clearly defined. These ones here on this side are a little bit rounder than the ones on his main body. So these ones that go down to his neck have a little bit rounder shape to them. And I'm just very, very lightly making some, defining this shape here. Doing a little bit of shading. And make a line there where these other scales are popping out. A bit of shading. Now I'm going to make some scale lines. This little scale comes all the way up there. So this one probably comes up to there. So now I'm just going to do some scale lines on it. And let's do a little bit of shading here, just to mark out where this scale is. Is that a scale? No, I don't think so. Let's just go like that. lines on this one. And let's see where the scale goes here. Right there. And some lines on this baby. Let's make these lines stand out a little bit better. And now I'm going to take my blender and I'm just going to go downwards in the direction that I had these lines going in. I'm going to soften them a wee bit. I had also done some shading in here, so I just want to blend that shading a wee bit. So I'm going from where the dark shading is downwards. So I'm picking up some of that dark and bringing it down in a gradual manner. And blend that little bit of shading there. Can you see me good? Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in a lot. Let's get this out of the way. Put this up there. There we go. Now you can see better. Very good. Should have done that in the first place. I roughly shaded these areas in last time I was working on it. I'm just going to blend that shading a little bit. Blend the shading. I really wanted you to be able to see where the neck is shaped. It does make a nice smoother shading when you blend it with your blender a wee bit. Okay, now's the fun part when I get to really do the details. So get in here and make sure that everything is as perfect as I can make it. And I won't do all the detail on camera. I'll just sort of do a bit here so that you can see how I go about it. And then I'll do most of it off camera. Now because I've blended those lines out a wee bit, I could put a few extra darker ones on now. These are little gaps between these scales. The other ones don't have so much of a gap, but these ones, because they have this curved shape here, they have this little bit of a gap, which creates this little shadowy section right here. Okay, I'm way down there working, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Now, I'm going to darken the lines here on my abalone. So that they can be seen better. I'm just using a B at this point. Coming out just a little bit. It's very different to draw color than it is to draw shape. It's a whole different can of worms. Or drawing, you know, black and white to signify color. My dad's colorblind, and I would draw things in different colors, and he'd try and guess what colors they were. Some colors he could see very clearly, and other colors couldn't see at all. Couldn't tell at all. Was it brown? Is it red? And my son, my oldest son, inherited his colorblindness. Because it passes through the daughter. The bad red-green colorblindness, apparently it passes through the daughter into the sons. So I'm very lightly shading this again because I'm using a B pencil. Okay, now I think we're ready for a darker, dark color. So let's go to 4B, which is the darkest I think I'm going to put on this. And we're just going to go down the center of that abalone. I didn't do this super pointy because I want a fairly heavy line, a fairly wide line. You have to understand how the abalone colors work. And figure out why there's such a dark line in the center. I hope this looks like abalone when I'm finished. You never know, I might have to totally redo this. Or it could wind up just looking like some unusual scale. I'm glad I'm getting to use my supplies. Such a shame when you have so many art supplies and they're just sitting there. I want to get at my paints and get them used up too before, you know, I start opening bottles and finding that they're all dried up or moldy or something. I'm quite happy with this actually. I like the way it's turning out. Yes. Okay, well that is my dragon painting. I'm also going to work on the eye a bit because I need to make it pop. And I'm going to be doing that by taking my erasers and making some real white highlights around the eye. And really making that eye stand out. That looks a lot better already just doing that. And I'll do a bit more detail on them, but for right now I'm going to take off some of these smudges. Whoops. I zoomed out the wrong way, sorry. I was just, and then I have some smudges to erase and some more detailing that I want to do here and there. Make a few areas pop a little bit more. But lastly, before I go, I'm just going to take my, let me see, I'll take my 4B and sign it. That is my dragon sketch, and I'll probably show you some more when I'm completely finished all the detail, but that's it for now, and that's my coloring for today. And maybe next time we'll finish that mermaid coloring, and if I can find the fields, we'll work on that. And we also have those houses to do in this one. I really want to do some more in the Enchanted Forest. I'd like to do some of these, finish this housing one. I'd like to finish that one. I'd really love to do this one in the end. This big long one that opens up like that. Big dragon. I think that would be so much fun to do. And there, it's double. So you get one on that side and one on this side. That would be a lot of work, but it would be something you do, like you just sit down, you do a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, a few months from now, it's all done. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.